Hi, in this series of 2 videos, I'm gonna teach you how to knit this Angry Bird baby set. Is the shoes or slippers and a hat. They're very easy to do. And in video number 1, I will show you how to do the shoes or slippers, and in video number 2, the hat. So I'm gonna leave you here the list of material you're gonna need to make them. To make these Angry Bird baby shoes, this is what you're gonna need. I bought this finger puppet at my local dollar store. So when I saw them, I had the idea to use them for this set. So gonna be the little shoes and a hat. So in this video, I will show you how to do the shoes, and the next one, the hat. I don't know if every Dollarama they have these, but you can look to see if they have them. And they cost $1.25, and you're gonna need 3. This yarn, I bought them in the Dollar Tree. It's a knitting yarn, 100% acrylic. Each ball have 50 grams, but don't have the size of the yarn, so it's like a number 3. So you're gonna need yellow and red. The knitting needle are 3 millimeters. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissors, and you're gonna need something to keep track of the rows, and you're gonna need needle and thread to sew them when you finish. We're gonna start with the yellow yarn, and we're gonna cast on 30 stitches, and look how nice it will look once you finish. It is so adorable. We're gonna start casting on to start with the back. So I need to leave a tail long enough for sewing at the end to sew the back. So I'm gonna start leaving a little piece of tail here, and when I divide my yarn again, this will be double. So I'm gonna wrap the yarn 15 times. I'm gonna pull my yarn, fold it in half, and this is the amount of tail that I need to cast on my 30 stitches, and leaving enough tail for sewing. Now I'm gonna cast on, so I need to do a slip knot, and I'm gonna work with my 2 needles together to cast on. If you are not used to cast on with 2 together, I recommend to use a 3.5 to cast on your stitches. Just have a number bigger. But it's easy. You see, you hold it here and they stay together like that. So I'm gonna cast on like this until I have my 30. Once you cast on your 30 stitches, you will do a knot here and remove one of the needles. Once you finish casting on, you're gonna start with 1 purl, 1 net, 1 purl, 1 net. We're gonna do this for 19 row. That is this back in here. So I'm gonna start with a purl, a net, purl, a net, purl. Like this, you're going to continue all the way to the end, doing 1 net, 1 purl. I finished that first row, and now you're going to net the net and purl the purls for 19 row. So this is row number 2, and I'm going to net the net and purl the purls all the way to the end. So you're gonna do this for 19 row. Here I have my 19 rows. So this is the wrong side of the piece, and I know that it's the wrong side because the tail is in the back. So we're going to change color here, and we want the transition from one color to other one to be perfect. It's like that. You don't have any seam or anything. So in this row number 20, we're going to do that change. So now with the red, we're going to do a purl row. And I don't want to count this row because it's just to change color. So don't forget to keep track of everything you're doing. That way when you do the other one, it's exactly the same. Here I'm going to do a knot. To change color. And I'm going to cut the yellow yarn. And now I'm going to do this row of purl all the way to the end. Just purl. Like that to the end. Here I finished that row, and this is the right side. You see, it looks really nice and perfect. And then this side you have that transition that we don't want for the right side. So now you're gonna do 7 rows with the red, without counting this one, 7 rows, and it will be net in the right side and purl in the wrong side. So this is the right side. I have the tail in the front. So we're gonna net. This will be row number 1 of 7, okay, with the red. So you're gonna net all the way to the end. Here I finished the first row of net. I'm gonna turn my work around, and now I'm gonna do purl all the way to the end, and this will be the second row. So like this you have to work, purl the purl and net the nets for 7 rows. After that we'll be changing color again to the yellow to create the tip of the shoe or slippers. It's very easy. Here I finished that row number 7, and it will look like this. So now we're going to change color again. So we're going to turn our work around, and I'm going to cut my yarn again, leaving a little tail for sewing. And I'm going to attach the yellow now to the red. And we finish with the red for this one. So remember, you have to keep track of everything you do, that way you can do the other one exactly the same. So here I'm going to secure my yarn. And now I'm going to purl this row, and again like this one I don't gonna count this row. This one is just a change of color, so it'll be purl. So I'll meet you here at the end. This is what we've done so far. And now we have to do exactly the same as we did here, this part, only for 4 rows. That is the tip here. So we're going to do exactly as we started the other one here. I started with the purl, and I'm going to start with the purl as well. So I'm going to purl 1, net 1, purl, and knit. Purl and knit. You're going to continue doing this all the way to the end. Here I finished the first row, and I'm going to work in the wrong side. So we're going to do exactly as we did here. We're going to do here for 4 rows. So I did 1, I had to do 3 more. So you're going to work the stitches as you see them. This one for me is a net, and this one for me is a purl. And then a purl. And then, like this, you're going to continue all the way to the end. You're going to turn your work around, and you will do exactly the same for 2 more rows until you have 4 in total. And I will meet you here to show you how we are going to cast off or bind off, and then we will start sewing our piece. Okay, I finished that row, and this is the end result. This is the right side, and this is the wrong side. That will be the inside of the little shoe or slippers. So it's really easy and very fast to do. So in a day you can do the pair without spending too much time doing it. So it's very easy. So now I'm going to show you how you're going to cast off or bind off, and after that I will show you how you're going to sew the piece together and how to finish. Now we're going to start to bind off or casting off. We're going to purl these 2 first stitches together. I'm going to drop them from the needle, and the one left on our right hand needle we're going to put it back to the left hand needle. So again we're going to purl those 2 and place the one that we have left into the other needle. Purl 2, again place that one back, purl 2, put it back. Like you see, it's very easy to cast off or bind off. Each time you put 2 together, you are casting off or binding off 1 stitch. And like this, you're going to continue all the way to the end. Here I'm about to finish this casting off. I have 2 stitches here. I do the 2 of them together, and I have 1 left. I'm going to cut the yarn, leaving a tail for sewing, and then that tail I'm going to pass it through that loop. Now with the tapestry needle, we're going to gather the tip. So we're going to pass it through here in a zigzag, like so. I'm going to pull the yarn, and you're going to continue doing this all the way to the end. Now after that, you're going to pull that tail to gather that tip, but you see it don't close completely. So what I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna pass the yarn through that tip again. Like that all the way to the end. Once you pull tight, that will close perfectly in the front. Now with that tail, I'm gonna sew in a zigzag the yellow part. So you're gonna sew those 2 ends together. until you get to the last stitch where the red starts. Once you finish there, you're gonna sew the red with the red tail that you left in there until you get to the yellow part. And I recommend with the yellow tail to sew one stitch in there and then sew the back. It'll look something like this. And now to sew the back, again through the right side of the piece, I'm gonna go to the top, and I like to do a double stitch there to secure that part of the shoe. So you're going to continue working in a zigzag, sewing, until you go to the end. And once you finish there, you will lose that tail, and we're going to start working in the top, sewing our Angry Bird. Once you finish, it will look like this, and I recommend with the yellow tail that you will have here to do one stitch in here. That way is round here with the yellow color, okay? So now with your needle and thread, you're gonna grab your Angry Bird and you're gonna sew it here through the inside here, making sure that you don't see the stitches all the way around here underneath here, like this one that you don't see the stitches. So I'm gonna do this off camera and I'll show you the end result. Look how fantastic these little pair of shoes or slippers look. They look amazing. I think in this one I have a little more of cotton ball, that's why I look a little bit, but they are exactly the same. Okay, and this is the amount of yarn that I have left, so I hardly use any, and I have more than enough to do the hat that I will be doing for next week video. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you guys like it and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my videos with friends and family. That way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.